on the outside. Park Orchards will eat them up all day on the outside.
Well, that's right. We talked about that before the game, didn't we? And the other guy that's really been standout has been Evan Smead, so maybe they need to put a bit of work into him as well.
So second quarter just about to get underway. It'll be Park Orchards kicking to the scoreboard end of the ground in the second term. And Chappell to go up against Smith in the ruck, and it was Smith who won the tap down straight into the hands of Locke. Locke's kick, tumbles forward. Hyde takes possession. He's immediately tackled by Summers. And if that tackle's any evidence to go by, we might see a bit more intensity from the Lions in this second term. Jake Summers really made Ben Hyde feel that tackle. That was Smith who knocked it down straight into the hands though of Rowland. His kick around the corner just manages to stay in play before Ceravolo takes it to the boundary line. So another stoppage, boundary throw-in. 40 seconds gone in the second quarter, and Doncaster East will be looking to hit back hard in the first sort of 5 to 10 minutes of this term, get a couple of goals in quick time and work their way back into the contest as Batsanis tumbles it forward. Shalakis hard up against the boundary. His kick across the face of goal. No mark taken. Came off hands. Gordon, probably his first kick of the game, really, and he's kicked a goal with it. So Doncaster East get their second on the board through Tom Gordon, and that is just the start the Lions needed to this second term.
Yeah, certainly just the start, but a bit of Matt Haythorne really was at fault there. The ball came in. It wasn't a flash as a kick, and he should have taken the mark, and once he dropped it, it was always going to be a goal. So a big mistake by him.
So the big forward for Doncaster East slots his first. Might start a bit of a run for the Lions. Hyde to restart it again now. Chappell had the sit, got the knockdown. He was looking for Bayliss. He'll go after it again. The big man scoots out. Locke broke the tackle nicely, then dumps the ball inside forward 50 or thereabouts. Hish leads out. Bounced away from him. Rowland was right on his hammer. And the umpire's going to come in and bounce this one. Dan Baird. 60 metres out from the Doncaster East goals. Hyde throws it up. Ball hits the deck. Nicely trapped there by Whitnish and brought it around the corner beautifully to Smead. He's doing the old double jumper option today with the long sleeves up towards the half forward line. Looked like there might have been a little bit of holding. Umpire said it was okay. Lowther came barging his way through. Smead came up to the contest, knocked away Lowther over the boundary line and out of bounds. So we go around the grounds with Barry Cotts.
Yeah, Division 3, Waverley Blues and Ferntree Gully. Waverley Blues 3-1-19 to Ferntree Gully 5 behinds 5 points. And South Belgrave 5-1-31 to Templestowe 4-2-26.
Folks will go up against Smith. Smith had the front spot, palmed it down. Almost into the breadbasket of Whitnish. Well, nicely done there, though, by Folks. Got the handball away, dispossessed, and Jack Martin's brilliant tackle came out. Smith advantage paid up towards the half-forward line where Hish Gerbertide takes the mark. He's going to unload. Here he goes, Goldwood. He pushed it to the left-hand side, though, and through for a minor score. 3 minutes gone in the second term out here at Zerby's Reserve, a.k.a. the Den, the home of the Doncaster East Football Club, and they're trailing by 20 points.
So the kick comes back in for Nicholson. Takes a good strong mark then, Matty Nicholson in front of Locke. And Nicholson will just look to switch play to the outer side of Zerby's Reserve. Finds Handley. Handley's kick untidy again, and he's put it out of bounds once more. Not on the full, but it's the second time Nick Handley hasn't been able to clear the defence with his kick. Found the boundary line. Ball into open space. This is promising. This is where they've been hurting the Lions today. A long searching kick. White worked his way back. Bahagia takes possession, and he's immediately tackled by Simon White. So it'll be a ball up once more.
Yeah, good work by Gorringe there. Got to the front to force the contest, and they didn't win the ball. He at least forced a stoppage just outside 50, so dangerous position.
So Smith against Folks. This time, strong tackle was applied. Ball tumbles forward, and the mark's been
he's playing
safely
well.
held then by Nicholson. Terrific grab once again.
Quickly, oh no. Well, quickly around the grounds with Barry.
Division 4, Fair Park 6-4-40 to Wires Pioneers 2-4-16, Forest Hill 4-1-25, Sylvan 4-1-25.
Bayliss launches. Big kick. And that was a great set play from the Sharks. Matty Nicholson thought, I'm no chance of making the distance here, but my coach Jared Bayliss calling for it. He can kick the distance, and he gave the little handball off, and Jared Bayliss launched it from a long way out and made no mistake. So Park Orchard 7-1-43, Doncaster East 2-5-17 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
So fabulous goal by Bayliss. He's kicked quite a few goals. I think he got 4 last week. So he's sort of roaming between sort of half back and forward, but going forward and doing the damage.
Ball back in the middle here. Charging his way through there was Locke, got it out. In there was Ceravolo, broke the tackle, got a little push in the back, but got enough purchase inside forward 50. And it comes down to Jack Shalakis, who hit the deck and copped one over the shoulder. So he'll take that, Jack Shalakis. And he has got a good boot on him as well, so I'd expect him to go back and try and have a ping from here.
He's always dangerous on the run, isn't he? Or in a sort of snapping a goal, but be interesting to see if he can do it from the set shot.
So a big run up, almost into the middle of the ground here. Jack Shalakis just inside the centre square, set sail for goal. It's looking pretty good right to the line. Summers had the fly and might have actually carried the whole way here. I think it has. So, well, the quick answer again, it's goal for goal out here at Zerby's Reserve early in the second term. 6 minutes have ticked on, and on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, it's back to a 20-point lead to the Park Orchards Football Club. They're kicking straight 7-1-43 to 3-5-23. More around the ground scores with Barry Cotts on the score centre.
Yeah, Division 3, the Basin 7-4-46 to Doncaster 5-4-34. And Waverley Blues 3-1-19. Ferntree Gully 3 behind 3 points. Templestowe trailing South Belgrave 5-1-31 to Templestowe 4-2-26. And Baronia 2-1-13 to trail Heathmont 5 goals straight 30.
Jack Martin takes possession, got the handball out to Murphy. Was probably held without it then, Murphy. Tried to get the ball away. DeJager strongly tackled by McLean. And Brock McLean, that's what he likes doing best, just driving his opponent into the ground with the tackle. Forces the ball up.
Been relatively quiet, Brock.
Very quiet, almost unsighted, you'd say, so far today.
Sorry,
I was just going to say, outstanding game by him the last time we saw Doncaster East on Radio Eastern a couple of weeks ago against Bayswater. Certainly not exerting that impact so far today as Smith is taken to ground. Here's McLean starting to get his hands on the footy. Handball out into the path of Murphy. Price Inglis shared it with Chappell.
Well done.
Chappell's kick was a good one. Just carried over the head. Tendler works his way back. Forced onto his left foot, but he used his left side well then, Tendler, and found Locke. So James Locke, usually a pretty good user of the footy, just goes laterally with the kick back to Tendler. Tendler, a sort of cool head in the defence there for Doncaster East. Went short to White. White's kick measures it and finds Jack Martin. So they're just chipping it around at the moment, the Lions. Martin to Tendler, onto White once more. White's long kick looking for big Rami Ayubi on the wing against Bahagia. He had the size mismatch then, but Bahagia did well to force a boundary throw in. And will be thrown in on that outer side of Zerby's Reserve.
Jack Martin starting to get into the game too, the sort of player that can really hurt you, so they'll be wanting to keep an eye on that, the Park Orchards defenders.
Chappell goes up against Smith, who's in the front spot, came down his hish, got wrapped up by Folkes, ball spills out. Bayliss was in there, little toe poke. Brock McLean sorted up there. Lee Murphy on the right booty side. Ball 50 to Summers, who had good jukes out in front. Took it on the one grab, and he's in one of the hardest positions to kick a goal from. There's no doubt about that. Tugged up on the boundary line where the paint of the 50 meets the out of bounds. So a big chance here for Doncaster East, Matt.
Couple of quick scores coming through on Twitter. Ringwood 2-2-14 lead scores be 1-6-12, and Eastbourne 4-2-26 leave Surrey Park 0-1-1.
So Jake Summers, heavily strapped left leg. He'll be wanting to kick a goal here, went right across the face and eventually seen over the boundary line and out of bounds. So left forward pocket.
Much better that time from Park Orchards. Shalakis' goal, they had the numbers on the line and didn't do enough about it. That time they were able to get it out of play.
Your players forming inside this forward 50. Pavic and Stanton now to go up against Chappell in the ruck contest here. Knocked down, Bayliss was there, trapped it. Just scrambled enough on there to find up Price English, who just wanted it out of that danger zone. Here's Smee, got the link-up handball, and Philp on the right boot up towards the half-forward line. This is good play. Right down the corridor here, the Sharks go. The old 1-2. Philp on the right boot, inside forward 50, coast to coast. That's as good a football as you can ask for. Liam Bahaja takes the mark, 35 metres out directly in front.
That was brilliant play. I think it was Gorringe. He was on the lead. He got the initial ball. He got it off to Philp, and Philp hit the target. That was tremendous play by Parker Richards. Great transition.
So Bahaja directly in front. We can put this through. That's be 2 goals apiece for both sides. And the lead will extend to 26 points, which is exactly what it does on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 10 minutes tick over in the second term out here on AFL game day. And Barry Cotts has got some more important scores coming around the grounds.
Yes, from Division 2, Lilydale 5-2-32, Middlebark 2 behind 2 points. Bayswater 7-3-45. Lead 1 goal straight 6-2. And also Upper Ferntree Gully 2-4-16 to Wanturna South 2 behind 2 points.
Well, Parker Orchard's just answering every challenge that Doncaster East throw at them. They've stretched it back out to 26 points to the margin in this second quarter. Saravolo lost the footy. Good strong tackle there by Lucas. And it'll be a ball up.
Doncaster East need the next goal.
Well, they need a couple in a row. They need
exactly. They can't afford
to
not get the next one.
So quick kick to Wiggins. Wiggins tumbles it forward. No mark there by Wynett. Gold worked his way back nicely. Clearing kick by Sam Gold into the path of Saravolo. Tries to break the tackle of Whitnish, and he did it well then. Little handball further afield, intercepted by DeJager. DeJager off to Folkes. High up and under kick. A lot of holding on going on there.
That was definite holding.
Lowther was a bit lucky to get away with that for sure, but now they're off and running the lines. Tendler to Batsanis. Over the top was Clever to Codmiller. Codmiller really indecisive, hard up against the boundary. His kick was ambitious to say the least. Publican stands it out. Got it off to Batsanis. Batsanis races in, and it's a disappointing finish from the captain. Drifted across the face of goal. There was just no oomph in that kick from Batsanis, and it was safely marked in the back pocket by Handley.
Haven't heard oomph for a while. I love it, Brad Henderson. It comes out now. Across the half-back line, a scrambly one. And, there's David Banfield over there on the boundary line. AFL legend, former premiership coach at the Vermont Football Club. Pye throws the ball back in now. It's the deck. 2 big men go down, Chappell and Gordon, and we'll have a bounce. 60 metres out from the lines, goal line. Barry Cotts around the grounds.
Yeah, Division 4, and it's Surrey Park, 4-2-26 to East Burwood, 1 behind 1 point.
Oh, Surrey Park.
Sorry, Barry. Other way around, Barry.
Comes out now. He's Hish this way, that way. Oh, that was fancy. Little handball over the top. Has it stayed in, or the umpire's paid a free kick? Too sure which way this one's going. Might actually go to Hish Kerbertai here. Right up, tugged right up against the boundary line, just inside the arc as well. So VFL listed player for Doncaster East. Comes in, looks like he's going to have a shot. Lining it up now, a little cartwheel on the mark. Oh, wasn't that impressive, but not as impressive as that goal. You can do cartwheels or handstands, it doesn't matter. Hish has got the answer straight over the goal umpire's head, and maybe that's the spark Doncaster East after 14 minutes tick over on the Bendigo back scoreboard. That was entertaining, to say the least. And, well, it's back to that 20-point margin, gentlemen.
That was a fantastic kick. You wouldn't have given him too much chance from out there. Incredible angle. He had a fair bit of distance to go as well, but he kicked it easily. Fantastic stuff.
For his second one for the afternoon.
Yeah, a bit of distraction going on the mark as well, but he wasn't going to be put off. And
Baz?
Yeah, Bayswater 10-5-65 was leading Mitch, and 1 goal straight, 6 points.
Ceravolo takes possession out of the middle and finds Cod Miller on his chest. Little handball was effective to Gordon. Gordon's kick, and the mark's been safely held there by Shalakis. And here's the chance for them to get those 2 goals in a row that we spoke about, to work their way back into the contest. So Shalakis, he missed one earlier. He's got 1 goal. Sorry, I should say he did kick that one earlier. So he's got 1 goal in this quarter. That was from further out than this one. You back him in to kick his second here. Jack Shalakis. Confident approach. Measures it nicely and makes no mistake. And that is a crucial goal for Doncaster East. 2 in a row for them. And they bring the deficit back to 20 points on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
16 points now. 14 I should say. Barry Cott's around the ground.
Yeah, Division 4, it's Fair Park 6-4-40 to Waters Pioneers 2-4-16. Forest Hill and Sylvan 4-1-25 apiece. And that's Surrey Park. East Burwood score, yes, East Burwood 4-2-26 to Surrey Park, 1 behind 1 point.
Just watching the Park Orchards defenders see when that kick came into Shalakis, they were standing around looking quite lost. I don't think anyone quite knew who was supposed to be taking him.
Well, Chappell got the knockdown. Bayless came charging through. Smith hit the deck. Chappell over the top there. Little throw by Wiggins. Umpire said it was okay up towards the half-forward line. Clean bowled Smee, but they're linking up well. Here's Bayless. What great running, and what a great answer this would be. Pushed it just to the right-hand side. The Doncaster East brethren breathe a sigh of relief as it goes through for a minor score. And the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, that's only their second, but they might get another chance here as they coughed it up almost. Doncaster East, Batsanis out towards the half-back line. It went over the top of Rami Ayubi's head. It came out to knock towards Hyde. Inside forward 50, he goes. Louder though for the Lions. Little handball over the top. Michael Philp going, well, that's as deliberate as it gets, but wasn't going to receive the free kick. And over she goes for a boundary throw-in. Tempo's picked up. There's no doubt about that. 15 points is the margin. Park Orchards have the lead across their half-forward line. The umpire brings the ball back in. Chappell knocked it straight down the throat there of Hish. Got it away to Batsanas. Banged it on his boot. It's going to stay in and up and under one. No one really got it on the first bounce. Gordon got a little knock away. Can Locke keep the ball alive? And or might have knocked it against his opponent's toe and gone out of bounds on the full. Doncaster East, everyone's asking for it. The umpire said no, we'll ball this one in. It's even Steven. True centre wing position, far side of the ground out here at Zerbies.
15 points the lead for Park Orchards. 17 minutes gone in this second quarter. And it's been a much more competitive effort from the Lions in this term. They've kicked 4 goals for the quarter. Smith there, won the tap down. Didn't travel too far. Locke, who's been pretty good, one of his team's better players so far today. Whitling launches a long kick looking for Gordon. Ball spills off the pack. Price Inglis.
He's done well, Price Inglis.
Ball in hand. He's been very clean today. Gave it to his teammate who was under a lot of pressure. Good tackle by Murphy and rewarded for the tackle then.
That's what's improved in this second quarter for the Lions, that pressure around the ball. They haven't allowed the Sharks to just run it out of defence.
Murphy shared it with Whitling. Whitling's kick to the pocket. Appleby swooped on the footy, gave it back to McLean. McLean shot out a handball for Shalakis. The players go crashing in then. Whitling there almost gave a free kick away. And it will be a ball up at half forward for Doncaster East.
Great second and third effort there by Jack Shalakis.
Was indeed. They seem to have a much more of an appetite for the contest in this second term than we saw in that first quarter. High kick to the middle of the ground. White was under it. Cod Miller paddled it forward, did so again. A third time, just keeps knocking it in front of himself, waiting for some help. Martin now bends down to get the footy, but as soon as he does, he's thrown over the boundary line by George, and it will be a free kick. There's a little bit of push and shove after that one, right next to the boundary line. Free kick goes to Jack Martin. Martin in the long sleeves, as always. Kicks to a contest, hugging the boundary with the kick then.
Barry Cott's around the grounds with the score centre.
Yes, Division 3, Heath won 5 goals straight, 30 to Baronia 3-5-23, 15-minute mark, second quarter.
So Gordon against Chappell in the ruck this time. Dan Gordon just tried to push Chappell out of the way. Appleby was sat on them and the umpire says no prior opportunity. Another ball up to take place. Deep in the Doncaster East forward line at the moment. Park Orchards just need to steady here, because Doncaster East seem to have the momentum for the moment as DeJager got it out to Whitnish. And there'll be a free kick paid downfield. Whitnish was interfered with after his kick. Folks thought about playing on, but will come back behind the mark now. Folks,
smart to do so.
Wheels around, finds Philp on a long lead. Lovely kick by Michael Folks. And Philp, probably just outside his range, you'd think here. Sits the kick up to the pocket. Carries over the head of the pack. Tendler there does really well to keep the ball in play. Great footy from him. Gold measures the kick, but it's not his best pass. It was intended for Batsanis, but assuming the front position then was Roland, who dishes off the handball. They load up once again here, Park Orchards. Long kick deep into the forward line, but Doncaster East managed to clear once more. And there's a free kick now going to Big Dan. No, it's going against Dan Gordon, and it'll go the way of Park Orchards. So again, they'll load up, this time with Galings.
Yeah, so Jacob got it to Galings, copped one in the back from Gordon as Park Orchards chance to reload inside. 450, Daniel Gorringe, eyes only for the football. He went up in the contest and everyone backed him pulling that one down. And he'll just go back and just try and stem the flow a little bit for Park Orchards. He's already kicked one in this game thus far. The margin is 15 points. Looking at to stretch back out to what's been a consistent 20-odd point margin for Park Orchards throughout most of this half. Gorringe comes in, keeps it low and keeps it straight. That's his second on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We're into time on, 22 minutes tick onwards, and yes, it's a 21-point margin.
Yeah, deserved the goal, Daniel Gorringe. A great mark. It was a 2-on-1, but the big boy, of course, he's had the AFL experience and terrific mark and finished it nicely.
12 goals for the season now for Daniel Gorringe. Went into this game with 10 goals, and he's kicked 2, 1 in each quarter today. So back out to a 21-point lead for Park Orchards. Umpire tosses it up. Smith there and competing with Chappell. Saravolo throws it on the boot. Galings was involved once more. The kick to Wiggins on the wing position. Strong tackle on Tendler there by Heron. And Sam Heron, an under-19s player who has played every game this year for the senior team.
Tendler's been good for Donny East, having a very good game.
He's another guy who always seems to play well in the radio games that we do of Doncaster East when he's in the side. Jason Tendler. And big game performer. Umpire tosses it up again. Quick kick out of the pack by Nicholson. Will be a free kick. It was Whitnish, in fact. And the free kick will be coming back to Gorringe for Park Orchards. Sorry, Chappell it is.
Copped one in the face.
So Josh Chappell launches it forward. Massive pack of players under that one. And the handball wasn't coming out of the pack then to Folks. It'll be another ball up. It is a 21-point lead still to Park Orchards in time on in this second quarter.
Umpire Dan Beard throws the ball aloft. A bit of holding in the contest. It's going to go to Smith again. So it's his fourth free kick he's received from a stoppage. The big ruckman plate covering a mountain of ground for Doncaster East. Short passes on, that's okay. Jimmy Appleby takes it. Still across the half back line. Eyes forward, he goes towards the Summers direction, who had the sit, and he almost pulled it in with the 1 mid, was almost held without it. Eventually the umpire has seen that one, and he'll kick from inside the square. There's still 2 kicks from home, Doncaster East. Summers looking forward. Will he just pop this one up? He goes into the direct area of Hish. He couldn't quite take the mark. Storming through Saravolo. Locke got it down. Here's Lucas around the body. Can he squeeze it back? He certainly can. Doncaster East. They get the one that they were after. That's the quick reply. And Bendigo Bank scoreboard 24 minutes tick over now in the second term. And we've certainly got a game on our hands. It's entertaining out here at Zerby's Reserve. Barry Cotts is entertaining right across the eastern suburbs.
Yeah, Division 2 up Ferntree Gully and Wanturna South. Up Ferntree Gully 4-6-30 to Wanturna South 3-4-22.
So refusing to hang in there, or refusing to go away, should I say, Don East. Every time you think they're getting a bit behind, they chip one back, and terrific goal.
15 points is the margin, Brad.
Yeah, 5 goals to 3 in this quarter by Doncaster East, so they've done exactly what they had to do to work their way back into it after that poor first quarter. Free kick now going the way of Wiggins it is, sorry, for the Sharks. Nathan Wiggins, not his best kick, and the mark taken there by Ayubi. Martin kicks it up towards the wing position. Summers he's on the mark, and he did that beautifully, Jake Summers.
He stepped up.
Goes laterally with the kick to Locke. Locke kicks to the pocket. Oh, Gordon did that really well. Great use of the body from Tom Gordon. Just took front position and then manoeuvred his opponent just the way he needed to take the mark. So Tom Gordon, he kicked a goal at the start of this quarter, which I guess really started the comeback for the Lions. We know that he's usually a pretty long kick for goal. And I'll back him in from here. We're right behind the kick, down this end of the of Zerby's reserve. So Tom Gordon has 14 goals for the season. That's goal number 15 for him. Made no mistake. And the comeback continues from Doncaster East. 6 goals for the quarter for them. And the margin's back to 9 points.
Yeah, a couple of the big men from Donny East really starting to get into the game. Gordon being one of those, and of course Jared Smith having a fantastic game as well. And Donny East a lot harder around the ball too in this quarter.
Let's go to Barry Cotts around the grounds with the score centre.
Yeah, Division 3, we've got a half-time score. Baronia 6-6-42 are leading, Heathmont 5-2-32.
Perfect conditions for football this afternoon, isn't it? 9 goals to 7. We picked a beauty out here at Zerby's Reserve, and it comes out a man who's had a great first half. Wiggins goes inside forward 50. It went over the top of everyone. White was there to mop up, kicked it out towards the Whitling direction. Always wants to get on that favourable left boot. Went back to McLean, who goes back to Gold across the half back line. Squeezed to kick up to Lucas in the middle of the ground. Thought we might switch the play here, but instead goes in towards the middle where Appleby had a few touches in the last few minutes. Kicks the ball out wide. They've got a bit of a run on here. Here's Tendler on the right boot inside forward 50, but it was coughed up. Hayhorn took it on the second bite. And the umpire then called him play on. There was certainly a mark, or it was a little bit stiff saying it was play on. It came out. Gorringe couldn't quite trap it. Nicely done there by White. Got it back to McLean on the right boot. Scrambly kick out towards the wing position. First play to meet it out there was Heron for Park Orchards. Tendler right on his hammer, and we will have a boundary throwing right in front of the Doncaster East interchange.
Really love James Appleby's game today for Donny East. He's been in this quarter in particular, he's been very, very good.
Certainly come alive. Gorringe had the front spot. Lock at the fall. The ball has to compete there with Chris DeJager. The umpire said play on here, so it scoots out. So Batsanis for Doncaster East just got boot to ball in the nick of time. He's tried to trap it. Rowland was right on his hammer. Lucas brought him to ground, and we'll have another bounce. It's been an entertaining first half. There's absolutely no doubt about that. 28 minutes tick over on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. And it is a 9-point lead to Park Orchards. Knock came down, and let's do it all again. So siren sounds to announce half-time out here at Zerby's Reserve. We do hope you're enjoying the broadcast on 98.1 Radio Eastern and streaming live around the globe on efl.org.au. 9 goals to 56, the Park Orchards Football Club. They've led this game from go to woe. Doncaster East 7-5-47.